Our collusion and corruption segment tonight. Newly revealed text messages between top FBI agents suggest the Obama White House was briefed on the investigation into the Trump campaign. These texts from FBI officials Peter Strzok and Lisa Page suggest that the FBI may have coordinated with the Obama administration and other Democratic officials from the start of the Trump-Russia probe, even though the Obama administration said that they were impartial in the investigation. With me now to break this down from the Center for Security Policy, Mike Waller. Mike, hi, how you doing?
Hey, Liz.
Okay, talk to me about this, because this story is quite interesting. It's not stating for a fact that this, I guess, coordination happened, but some of these text messages are extremely troubling. If you look through them, they do, in fact, give you reason to believe that the White House, the CIA, the FBI, the Department of Justice, and then Democratic leaders in the Senate, such as Harry Reid, did brief each other and coordinate and talk about this investigation very early on.
Right, and if this is true, this would represent the worst scandal in the FBI's entire history. You're talking about political corruption at the uppermost levels of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Right, and the Obama administration, this is another part of the scandal, I think, that could potentially be maybe the biggest element, is the Obama administration has said that they are impartial. They have said that they are very hands-off about this. If these text messages are true, basically if what is said in the text messages was actually carried out, then the Obama administration was lying.
They were lying, and there's a clue in these text messages also, where you have a senior FBI lawyer telling Peter Strzok, the chief of counterintelligence, watch out what you say in case Congress finds out, or there's a Freedom of Information Act. It doesn't say stay within the law to make sure it's legal. They're talking about political appearances and to make sure that it doesn't get leaked to the public. They're trying to cover something up.
Right, and you can see that. I mean, they couldn't have written it more clearly in the text messages, like you said. So the people who would have been involved here would be the implications, I should say, would be Obama's former chief of staff, Dennis McDonough, Senator Harry Reid, and then CIA director at the time, John Brennan. What exactly, I guess, would have been coordinated? What would be the implication? What would be the impropriety here?
Well, first, it would be normal, it would be fine for the CIA leadership and the FBI leadership to cooperate on a legitimate investigation, if it's a counterintelligence or a national security investigation. It would not be proper at all for the White House Chief of Staff to get involved in any way. And this is where there seems to be unethical or even criminal behavior going on, especially if the FBI had some doubts as to the legality of it. And you can see that in the text as well.
Right, because they clearly refer to Obama's chief of staff, Dennis McDonough, here. It's not simply between the FBI and the CIA. They also refer to Democratic leadership in the Senate. They refer to Harry Reid, and I'm not sure the legality of that or if that's the proper role of Harry Reid. It seems suspicious here. If there is a valid question, though, of whether or not the Obama White House was involved, particularly after saying that they were not involved in the early stages of this investigation, should there be a special counsel appointed to investigate this? Is that the level of severity that's indicated in these messages?
Yeah, you hate to say it, but yes, there is. First of all, Harry Reid was really one of the most crooked people in the United States Senate at the time. He was Senate Majority Leader. He was using his power to bully his way through a lot of things and to get a lot of investigations shut down. Here he is goading the FBI to investigate and even providing the FBI with political cover, which the FBI should never need, to run this investigation. So there seems to be some real, I mean, this goes against the whole idea of separation of powers between the executive branch and the legislative branch, and also to make sure that the FBI is never, ever questioned in terms of its integrity. And in this case, it's totally tainted itself.
Right, and I say this pretty often on my show. I'm fundamentally skeptical of special counsels. I think they have too much power. I think they have not enough boundaries. They have too much authority, and we can see that in how Robert Mueller has conducted his investigation here. But would this be something that would be, or that would fall under the purview of the Inspector General rather than appointing a special counsel? Or is there no way to properly investigate this unless the investigator is sitting somewhat outside of these intelligence circles?
I think you need to have an outside person. I'm also skeptical of special counsels. I think they horribly abuse their power, especially Mueller, who's gone way off his mandate. But who can you call? You can't call the FBI for help on this one. There's nowhere else to go. So while the Justice Department Inspector General is certainly going to be part of this, they're going to have to rely on the FBI as well. So this really has to go to an outside independent authority.
Right.
And we don't have one.
Right, and it's scary. It's scary to think, too. Like I said, we know the corruption that's happened in the FBI. We saw the collusion that happened between Department of Justice officials and the FBI officials. We saw the abuse of the FISA court applications. We've seen this politicalization of our top intelligence services, which is scary as an American citizen because they are violating our rights, or if they violated other citizens' rights, they just as easily could violate our rights. But the idea, too, that the Obama administration would feel the need to lie about this after they know, I mean, that's taking it even a step higher.
It adds a whole new layer to this entire thing. Let's say, for example, that there is a legitimate reason to investigate a foreign intelligence agent, let's say, in a political campaign. There are ways to do that without politicizing the investigation itself. There are ways to do that within the system. And you saw this when the FBI moved when the Trump campaign moved its headquarters from Trump Tower to New Jersey, when the Trump people were alerted that there was a potential intelligence problem. There's no reason to get the White House chief of staff involved in any of this. And when you have two senior FBI officials, you have Page, the lawyer, and Stroke, the chief of counterintelligence, who is having an affair with her, which is itself is a dismissible offense in the FBI, because it's that type of extramarital affairs that are the prime types of blackmailable things that foreign intelligence services are looking for. They're the ones running this thing, and they've opened themselves up to being recruited by foreign spies. So this is a terrible mess, and there might be no end to it.
Right. It's unbelievable that this stuff was happening right under our nose and we didn't know about it. I certainly think some sort of investigation is warranted, or else what would stop it from happening again? It's scary. Mike, we're out of time, but thanks so much for being here.